Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hellcase Cup. We're once again just tossed right to the pistol. We cannot control the feed. Sadly, my name's Nick. I'm going to be joined by Yumi, and there's no wasted time here. Endpoint straight into things. Vertigo, yet again, a common theme for the Endpoint roster, and it's Fire stuck inside of the site. Multiple different positions to be aware of, and Thomas will take it down. Let's give it the pistol pickup for Endpoint.
Yeah, it seemed to be a relatively fast round at that. It was no real surprise that we end up on Vertigo once again. A very comfortable pick for Endpoint, but I suppose the surprising thing for the series is going to be that it's a complete mirror matchup from the last time they played. It's the exact same maps, exact same order, picked by the exact same teams. So
I didn't get muted on time. Apologies for that. Very.
No, bless your soul.
Yeah, that's I feel bad for Twitch chat. I tried to hold it back and it actually made it worse, and I apologize. I couldn't mute on time, but sorry for your ears.
Good first shot by Senator. Max able to respond with the UMP, and while Thomas has spammed one through the smoke. We're going to see a lot of this from Endpoint. Again, we got to witness it yesterday. Just the slow approach to the A-bomb site, just grinding it down. And hopefully, you know, only a day's passed since the last time these two have played. The improvements have been made to both sides. It seems like Endpoint have an easier time getting onto the bomb site than yesterday.
Well, crucial. Just rattling shots away. Top DeRay, he's going to walk in and shut down Crucial instead, and now we got ourselves DeRay and Kisser looking for a way back into this. Seeing Kisser really starting to hit some nutty shots throughout the last series we just seen them play in. It was only a few moments ago, but this is not looking good right now. Thomas coming in with a good kill. Now this is a cleanup from Endpoint, 2-0. I think we did see from S Gaming over the past few days that their map pool is somewhat limited. On a couple of the maps, they've been in a situation of, it feels like when they get later into the series, that's when they do more damage.
Yeah, I think Hawk was talking about in the last series, and that by and large, S Gaming have good sort of team chemistry, just in terms of playing off of one another, but strategically they have been lacking, which I suppose you can expect from these sort of newer CIS teams or these newer teams that sort of come together and try and make a name for themselves very early on into these leagues, which I suppose S Gaming have kind of accomplished. They've had a series of upsets already.
Okay, Thomas, there we go. He loves to do that. We seen him yesterday, actually. You maybe seen him get a little bit of an awkward engagement when he tried to walk through short, but this time it worked for one kill. He has dropped though. Crucial looking to clean up. A lot of these rounds, I'm expecting Endpoint to be pretty comfortable here on Vertigo. I'm not going to be expecting too much here from S Gaming, but we know what to expect from this team coming into the series overall. We'll be seeing a competitive affair, but it feels like Vertigo is just almost a lock-in for Endpoint at this point. Because not too much is going to change from one day, right? Because these guys had another best of 3. Endpoint had a super long day. Then S Gaming came into today with another game. So it's not like they have a whole lot of time to go back and rework the maps and cover a lot of their mistakes. So for the most part, it's going to be a very similar matchup as to what we've already seen. And I think that's going to be the case in a lot of the matchups here within this tournament. Because the way the format works is we basically see the same teams playing against each other all of the time.
Yeah, the potential for multiple rematches in the same group certainly does make things a little bit hard to see direct improvement, especially if it's only a day or two separation between the games. Like you said, a very comfortable pick for Endpoint, and they are making short work of S Gaming so far in the first gun round. Thomas has found 2 over towards the A side of the map. He's really just being a lurking presence, as the majority of the team is just spread out in a default. Well, if you're S Gaming, you'd hope that your first gun round would have been a little bit more close, a bit more exciting, but having to work from a deficit already, and it's still a minute on the clock for Endpoint to make any sort of decision. And with the couple of picks being towards A, it does seem like that will be the intended target.
Fire trying to get forward. It's going to be Kisser up into a short Fire, pick that up. One towards Mighty Max, Kisser in a decent little position here towards short, trying to get aggressive, and that's a nice shot. Taking down Thomas, going back and denying the bomb plant as well. That is great stuff from Kisser. And now Crucial and Surreal looking for a way into this. 30 seconds. Surreal starts to sprint through the elevated position. DeRay on the heaven spot. Play boost. Surreal, what is that? Just jumping around the corner. He's going to give away his life. And now a 1v1, crucial. We've seen him in clutches before, especially yesterday. He's still remembering that AWP play. And well, we'll see if he can pull it off for the AK this time. 1v1 against DeRay. Pressure's on, stuck on the default spot, and DeRay will pull it off. Endpoint have just thrown that one away.
Yeah, really not sure what's going through the mind of Surreal in that 2v1. Just jumping through spawn, he's trying to make sure that he's even still committed to that position, I suppose, but at least give yourself the best chance of winning the gunfight. DeRay, good round to win in a clutch, but like you said, position in which Endpoint seemed like they had a bit more going for them than they, I think, realized.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate. And, very, very questionable. And 1.33 to 3.25. That is certainly favoring Endpoint by quite a bit. But we've already seen a close affair between these two teams. Don't know if you got to catch the Evil Geniuses rebrand.
I did. I saw the images being linked to one another.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's
why they rebranded very recently, too.
Oh, they did. And it didn't go so well, so they decided to do it again. And I did tweet saying, you know, if anybody's looking, if they're looking for another rebrand in a couple of months, you know, I'm good with Black Ops emblem creator, so I'm good for the rebrand if needed. It's gonna be crucial, shutting down DeRay, and that goes for any organizations out there, by the way. If you need a new logo, hit me up, and we'll get something sorted in a few seconds. Thomas, getting back in towards the short position. He'll catch Roofire, and now Finn, alongside Sonata, looking to pull off a 2v5, and I don't think this will be happening, Yumi. I think this one is a pretty done deal. Mighty Max with the headshot. It's all on Finn. And while he may get one here from this shrewd little position, but he should be going down very shortly.
Yep, there's the one, and then the trade by Mighty Max. I think it's good signs for Endpoint by and large. Thomas is being very proactive over at the A-bomb site, finding multiple frags in these gun rounds. And while the 1v2 from DeRay is merely just a blip on the radar at the moment. Expecting to see another accumulator round for Endpoint to build up a lead as well. Don't imagine much will change. There's a lot of respect that has probably been gained over the past few days in terms of S gaming.
Oh yeah. Especially coming into this tournament, I think some of them only just got their HLTV pages made the other day, so that's pretty nuts. Thinking about it that way, the fact they've been able to beat LDLC, God, this is impressive. Robin is going to take down Roofire. It's a good start here for Endpoint. Should be trying to smoothly sail through this round without too many issues.
Ooh, hold the phone. 2 kills by DeRay over towards the B side of the map. 2 swift little 1-digs, and that puts a lot more pressure now on Endpoint to get something done elsewhere. Max is just making sure they're not pushing forward for the guns. I suppose that's the saving grace for Endpoint. Those guns aren't too retrievable. They'd have to commit a few more bodies, a few more resources over on the S gaming side if they wanted to pick those up, and well, because those weapons are down and Max has gotten a bit more ground to work with over towards B, they are beginning their approach.
Well, DeRay messed up on the construction area with the Deagle. Going to get involved with it. Just on the site, a few players standing now. DeRay is going to be waiting for his teammates. The pistols were starting to charge in, trying to overwhelm whoever's on the site. It's going to be Mighty Max on default, the first pillar of support here for Endpoint. He's going to find an easy headshot to start things off, and his position should be good for more. And there's a second, third for Mighty Max, and Robin will assist him. It's going to be 5-1. Endpoint off to the races here on Vertigo, and nothing really being presented from S Gaming. Up until this point, perhaps, because they've got a buy coming back into things.
Yeah, DeRay actually got a 3rd dig in that round as well, so he's had some pretty good performances individually thus far, but they're going to need to see a lot more of that moving forward if they want to keep this map competitive. As the previous matchup went, they got 10 rounds in total on SG, or S Gaming. Hoping to make that same type of a mark, potentially improve that scoreline, and it all starts in one of these rounds. We'll see if Thomas maintains his good form over towards A, because he's been solitary in his progress towards the A bomb site, but he's still able to sort of weasel around these smokes and find frags. DeRay over towards B, able to at least get one back. So even numbers for both sides. No real big commitments to either site just yet.
Oh, 44, nice shot from Fame up from the top of the ramparts. And the pressure will start to run in towards his position. Sonata up in towards short. Just under a minute left in play as well to get involved with the A1S. Looking for the clean and clinical shots to be landed. And Thomas is going to get himself into that corner. Look at that Molotov. This is brilliant. You know a good Vertigo team when they throw that Molotov. It cuts off and isolates that player in towards short. Makes it very easy to take him down. But suddenly the kills are come in for the CT side. It's all on Mighty Max. And well, look at the position he's got here. Pushed up in behind the side. Missed shot from Finn.
Oh!
How has he missed that, Yuvi?
Oh no. A completely wasted opportunity. DeRay on the flank, it's gotten so much impact, but Max knows he's coming from this position. He goes to clear it, but he misses the shot. DeRay with the 4K to win another clutch situation for S Gaming and a second round on field.
Well, okay. That is not the round that Endpoint would be hoping for. DeRay has certainly been impressing me over the past few days now. Especially today, he's been hitting the numbers. 10 and 5 currently on Vertigo. That's a big round from him. Really just winning that round off the back of himself, essentially. And Endpoint, we're off to a brilliant start there. Of course, this is the Hellcase Cup number 8. You can head on over and use the SLTV code for extra money on your account. So, SLTV15 is the code for a 15% refill bonus. Plenty going on there. And like you mentioned yesterday, there is a case that you can purchase that will support the prize fund. And that is when we'll see that dynamic prize pool increase. It's over 20k now today.
Yeah, wow. Steadily increasing. Oh, we'll see if they're going to continue to allow Thomas to be up to his antics. It feels like he's got about 10 different ways to approach these initial smokes over at A. Each of them good for an initial frag, and oh no, Rufar, he's spotted the gun barrel through the edge of the plank. It's an easy enough kill lined up. Rufar traded out. DeRay able to get one back as well, but has to concede up the site. The smokes are down, the executes come through from Endpoint, but they still need to make progress onto this bomb site. Playing for the retake of S Gaming, and they boost above the smoke. Kiss up, taking down Thomas. And while this bomb can get planted, they're going to have a significant numbers advantage moving into this site for the retake, and a whole lot of utility as well, and Fame on the flank.
Well, good kill from Crucial. He's going to get rid of Fame, and now Robin is the last remaining player. He'll find a headshot, and now 1v1 for the Swede. He knows exactly where the last player is. He's been DeRay. He's been an absolute nuisance. This Endpoint side, and he will not continue to be so. Robin gets rid of him, and a 6th round picked up for Endpoint. A great recovery and a brilliant clutch from Robin, delivering another round for Endpoint. And that money is now looking pretty gone for S Gaming. They can buy a couple of deagles, a little bit of utility coming into this, but for the most part, they will be looking down the barrel of a pretty weak buy. And S Gaming, they're probably going to be conceding around here. Why is the HUD just switched all of a sudden? There we go. It's fixed now. So they have an observer PC and a normal PC. That makes sense. It's fixed. So basically, when we go to the cinematic pass, that's when the HUD will be the wrong way around. So I can deal with that.
Yeah, usually when we see a sort of 2-6 scoreline, there's a few more players with money in the bank. We have seen a full commitment by S Gaming into this round, but do remember the only 2 rounds that they've won have come down to one player surviving, and oh my goodness, Crucial. That's a high impact frag to find through the smoke. DeRay, the only player that's really been having step-up moments for S Gaming, eliminated first, and well, they lose a secondary teammate as well. Endpoint, this slow progress towards A, they really grind the opponents down using those Molotovs like you pointed out. Good flashes as well. Well, S Gaming are all here. Endpoint are ready for it.
Well, it's going to be Fame with one on towards Surreal. Sonata taking down Thomas after 1 kill in the MAC-10. And Crucial continue to move forward. That's a bit ballsy. Peeking on the P250. Luckily, his teammates are in numbers, and it's going to be a double peak from Endpoint that delivers another round. But that is expensive. That is super expensive. That S Gaming definitely doing a lot on the pistols.
Yeah, strange to see Endpoint spread out so much like that when they had the numbers advantage. They were playing more for the after plant as opposed to taking the fights, even though they could hear the rotations come through. Although it is costly. It's going to be another sort of scrap together buy by S Gaming. This is a second round in a row where they've had somebody sort of hovering around $1,000 left in reserve, while the rest of the team is bought down to nothing. Made a bit more sense with Kisse the previous round because he needed it to buy up in this following. Could have maybe purchased the AWP had they saved another round as well. But you can see, because of the lack of weaponry and utility, they're playing a bit further back than they have been in these past few over towards the A site, and so Endpoint have a lot more control of A ramp.
Thomas. It's going to come out through short. The nade is going to go through Fame. Here on the FAMAS in the back of the site. It's going to be a lot of damage down from Fame. One kill on towards Thomas. Another nade. Oh, this could be huge. Landing right on top of the players to get away from it. Molotov runs in as well. And this is just doing a good job at holding back Endpoint, not allowing them to run on towards the site. Eventually that utility will run dry, and that's when Endpoint will strike. We've got 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs still left here for the T side. Still enough to create a wall of smokes on this A bomb site. There's 2 players playing in more advanced positions in front of the smoke, so they've still got to deal with them. Surreal is playing it behind the sandbanks. The utility is going to start running on in, and Surreal is just looking for some fights eventually. Bullets will start to ring in towards his position, but Endpoint have got to go. There's the wall of smokes up. The 2 players in front of the smokes, they deal with them quickly, and they don't get a single kill other than one onto Crucial. So 3v3, all the players here on Endpoint are incredibly low. So these pistols, they can certainly do something, especially the M4 in the hands of Kais. So he's got to be able to find that, and now just 2 more players left. It's Mighty Max and Surreal looking to hold on. Surreal just in the back ramparts. The push coming in. Mighty Max is playing as well. It tries to peek into the open, but he's shut down, and Surreal picked off as well. Kissa just in with a huge play. 3 kills picked up, and that's going to be a round stolen away. S Gaming, that was looking rough for them, but Endpoint somewhat crumble.
Yeah, good patience from both teams, really. Initially by Endpoint to slow things down on the A side aggression, just because they wanted to expend all that utility, like you said, from S Gaming, but holding far, far back and playing for that retake, knowing that Endpoint will make their move eventually towards A, or else they'll hear some sort of a rotation away. It was a good set of play from S Gaming, allowing the plant even, but doing so much damage in the process. All that HP damage done in the clutch definitely made a big difference. Oh, Kisse will open up the round onto Robin, and Rufire's in a perfect position to sweep up all the rest. The bomb dropped at his feet, and well, Mighty Max, the Glock in a flash. Doesn't really have too much going for him. Gets spotted out, and well, DeRay extinguishes all hope. A 4th for S Gaming, and a good accumulator at that, because everybody stays alive finally for them, and they get a better grip on the economy on this CT side. And they're giving Thomas less opportunities to find these frags around these smokes as well, just not peeking behind them. They've suffered at his hands a few of these rounds already, making small adaptations as such. A bit more focused towards the B side of the map by Endpoint, committing far more players over. We have Crucial over with the AWP as well. This is the site where DeRay is playing. He has been a troublesome player, and play up close. The smokes and flashes are coming on through. The first kill in towards Mighty Max through the smoke as well on Surreal. He catches him just on the rotation. He's been able to escape. Reposition into the site, and Rufire still there to cover things up. Robin's been dropped as well. Crucial trying to find something desperately around the smoke, and the only consolation frag they've gotten is Thomas on the flank. The problem is the bomb's dropped, 25 seconds left, and while Kissa has him dead to rights. Another great round by S Gaming, but some great initial frags by DeRay. And that's the initial objective accomplished. Just get this bomb planted because they had such limited resources coming into this round. But now the potential to try and steal one away. Thomas up close with the P250. They're trying to clear out that close generator. There's a good set of frags in from Surreal. And unfortunately, he's the only one that's hitting the shots as they emerge into the site. And well, again, primary objective accomplished. Some damage done to S Gaming. But they've got so much money in the bank that they can comfortably reinvest. I do think, based on how that rotation kind of played out in the pistol, we may see Endpoint sort of do the same thing, but with rifles instead. So far, they've been sort of committing a lot of players towards one spot early into the round, and just slowly grinding away the utility, slowly grinding away at the CT players if they get the opportunities. But that small little fake seemed to work like a charm. Yep. And again, it's just slow progress. Fame's been brought down to low HP as well on this AWP. So the spam damage, the Molotovs as well. He has to be very careful about how he positions. He's trying to play up close to these smokes. Make sure that Endpoint doesn't dart straight through them. Thomas has been doing that a number of times already. Fame able to get at least one before getting traded right back. And Senator trying his best to appear above the smoke, but Mighty Max just gets in his face. Rufire as well taking down the rotation, and they have crumbled on this A site. DeRay trying to get something back, but only the one frag in response. 3 stay up for Endpoint, and a half victory secured by Endpoint. our observer correctly pointing out that there is absolutely nobody on the B bomb site. They have fully rotated over, and Endpoint have no idea. Again, it's that early rotation from S Gaming. When they see some presence over towards A, they know it's just going to be this slow work that Endpoint have been doing time and time again, and they are committing everybody here. Not a single doubt in their mind that the A bomb site is the target. Yeah, 6 to 9 half, that is nice to see for S Gaming, considering how slow things started out for them on the CT side. Definitely a recovery by and large, and we saw some really convincing rounds from them on that CT side as well, as they started to get a bit of a grips as to how Endpoint were playing, even making correct calls in that last round, but just unable to convert on the initial frags and get things done in the 3v3. I think what worries us now is now moving on to the T side. We didn't really ever see too much in yesterday's play, where S Gaming just didn't have too many set executes. They didn't have too many sort of interesting Molotovs or site executes. And while there is certainly room for improvement, we touched on it earlier, it's only been a day since they last played this map, so that sort of the nuanced nature of Vertigo and just having these Molotov executes can be hard to drill in just a day. It'll be a very welcome surprise, that is for sure. Definitely some names to remember for sure. Well, now that we're into the pistol, Rufar is going to deploy a bit of utility over towards A. Crucial, but so far uncleared towards the sandbags. They'll have an idea that that's a possibility, but they are wrapping through this A site from short. Crucial still not checked for. Fame caught in the backstab. And now Crucial, he's shown his hand. The bomb is making its way away from the site. They don't want to have to clear that position out because not everybody's here. It's actually a bit of a fake play as they still have DeRay over towards B, and he's just trying to get a singular frag of his own, get some ground for his team to work off of, but now they don't have too much of anything. No real control of the A site, no real control of B, and so they have to go back to what they know is at least clear, and that's A ramp, and Crucial gets one more.
Well, the nade is going to go in from Mighty Max, trying to land on top of the players just outside of the ramp area. Mighty Max now reloading his weapon. He's wanting to search for another kill here. Sonado just in front of him. Mighty Max ready, but he spots him. He spots him cross. He sees the shoulder just dip in towards the site. Now Mighty Max will hear the plant, but Endpoint just holding on. They've got the advantage. They've still got the kit and the damage deployed onto the default player. It's Robin taking that frag. DeRay now trying to make his way up towards the top of the ramp. He'll be moving forward. It's going to be Mighty Max with one Kisei hitting the deck, and the cleanup is down. Mighty was ready to throw his smoke there, but not really needed once he realized everybody is dead. So 10-6, Endpoint now double figures.
That's a good problem to have. Guys, I'm going to set up this retake execute, and they're all dead. Okay, cool. I can hold on to the utility. No problem whatsoever. Yeah, definitely not what S Gaming had initially envisioned going into that round. They had, I think, hoped that they wouldn't have had to clear the sandbags. If they did, they would have probably brought up a Molotov. It would have likely secured a frag. But they had hoped that the A smokes and would have caused a bit more of a rotation on the Endpoint camp, which they're comfortable on these sites. So long as players aren't going down, they're not going to cheat these rotations too early on.
It's going to be a peek from Crucial down and towards the bottom of the ramp. DeRay has been picked off. Roofire able to come in, and Mighty Max is out of the server. There we go, sells a 4v4. Good damage being done here by Crucial. He will eventually be overrun. Fame will send him to the grave. Got ourselves a 4v3. Man advantage in play here for the T side. Endpoint now in a bit of a troublesome position. That'd be Robin holding in towards middle with his teammate up in construction once they realize the utility is being used up in towards A. Robin's going to be pulled back just as Thomas already inside of this site. It's going to be the split through short. Two players coming up. Roofire, Tash was just holding on towards the ramp, but Thomas is going to hear those footsteps. Goes for the spam through the smoke, but it's not landing. The Molotov on towards default prevents the plant. And that can allow for a little extra time for Endpoint to set up and get ready for this. That's the time, forcing them back into the open, but Senador, I love that. Just goes for the fight, wins it against Thomas, and now this is not looking good for Endpoint at all. In fact, it might just be over unless Robin gets a kill real quick here. That's one. He needs a little bit more than the one kill he's already picked up, though, to even have a feasible chance of pulling this off. Gonna make his way forward. It's gonna be Senador with a headshot. Surreal pick up one, but it's Senador. Another big round from him. That's 3 picked up, and a 7th round on the board here for S Gaming.
Yeah, a few more of these elements coming online for S Gaming in terms of just individual fragging capacity. Good sort of protocols in place as well for the retake. Endpoint had these ideas. The Molotov onto default, they allowed for the rotations to come through, but losing individual gunfights to these slightly more awoken S Gaming players on the T side. They're getting a bit of a taste of their own medicine, that sort of slow work towards A that S Gaming pulled through. Reminiscent of Endpoint. Missing out on a few bits of utility. Still hitting the same type of shots. It's just going to be pistols for Endpoint in this round. They forced into this, trying to make the upgraded buy some sort of a contender. Well, S Gaming will explore the middle segment. Good boost for Fame to clear things out alongside his teammate. And I think that's been one of the surprises for S Gaming thus far in the tournament as well, is when we got to see them on Overpass. They are very, very explorative with their boosts. They love a boost when they can see them and try and catch people out from above smokes.
Nice couple of kills coming in early on. Now that's 2 for Fame, and Senador with 1 as well. He's crucial into a 1 versus 2 clutch. He's found an AK, and that does make things a little more doable. He's got Kevlar as well here. That's the most important part to take a note of, and he's got the first headshot. Fame now low, 48 HP. And Crucial starting to make his way back in over the top of the B stairs. Fame has a decent position in behind the green generator. And Crucial has to worry about that. He has no kit, so the time becomes an issue. He's going to tap and try and pull Fame into the open, but he's not going to fall for that. He has not gone around the corner, and this is ballsy from Fame, but the backpack, it's spotted at the last second. He realizes, but it's the time there. Crucial's going to run back. There might just be enough time to pull off the defuse, and Crucial with the 1v2.
Oh, it is certainly going to be close. That double take he had to do to spot out the backpack. Oh, it's just in the nick of time.
That's just milliseconds in that. That's brilliant. Crucial, huge clutch.
It couldn't have been closer. Just that small pixel that he got to spot of the backpack. And just a hard commitment, thinking that there was no way Crucial was going to be peeking on the left-hand side.
I don't think Crucial's seen him. I think his teammates saw it.
Yeah,
and,
like you see the backpack.
You see him. Yeah, that's definitely what happened right there. Wow. Nonetheless, he wins the round, and that's all that's important. 11-7 now on the last legs. The last legs purchase here for S Gaming. It's a back and forth game so far in this second half, and it's such an important round for both teams, but that's an artillery fire down and towards the bottom of the ramp.
Oh, so much damage done. A high impact round like you were saying, and a lot of good damage done early on. That makes this SMG so much more effective as well over towards A, and I don't think S Gaming really want to commit further forward. They've been bombarded in the first 30 seconds. Now they're looking elsewhere because that A bomb site is a bit of a spooky place now.
DeRay. Gonna find a headshot. Robin gone. Uh-oh. Endpoint. This is a little bit of an issue now. DeRay's just gonna walk on by. Thomas needs to be aware, but he's not. And well, DeRay, he's just a one-man army. Continuing to go forward. Nearly gets himself a 3rd kill, but luckily, Endpoint will hold on with 3 players, but they're about to leave A. And that's the complete wrong decision right now. Look how many players are coming over towards this A bomb site.
Max is rotating in. Thankfully, they've been able to deal with DeRay. That was their huge thorn in their side. Now they can set their sights on this A site, but like you said, they've given up control. The smoke as well is down, and while Surreal has been taken down from the back lines as well. Kissa eliminating him. Crucial just trying to escape with this AK. They have no information that they've done so much damage to these players. It's a feasible retake at that, just based on the HP. Of course,
just a hero play from Duray right there.
Yeah, he was the only healthy player as well for S Gaming, so he knew he had to make the first move.
And the move that he makes, right, it causes Endpoint to get a little bit jittery. They lose 2 players in towards middle. They have no idea how many players are there. They try and patch up the hole. Maybe it's going to be a B hit. Maybe it's going to be straight through mid. So Mighty Max has to give up that A bomb site. And once that happens, 4 players execute on in. It's just 1 person in towards middle. What a job done by Duray.
Yeah, he's been the man that we've been highlighting the most on this map. He's certainly come to play and is stepping up when the team needs him most. He's had a series of clutches already, and a series of big plays alongside that, even outside of the clutch. Well, a good chance for them to bridge the gap that Endpoint have formed. Another force buy around the saved AK. Endpoint are fully committed into this and hoping that they can steal another round away. Get some good impact out of Crucial with the AK. Well, S Gaming, I don't think too much changes. They go back to this default. They've been playing 1 over towards B, a lot of presence over towards A initially. And again, taking a page out of Endpoint's book and just how they approach the initial stages of this map.
Well, Mighty Max now on the deagle. It's going to be back in towards middle. Crucial. The 1 AK, the 1 saved rifle is gone. Out of there. Job done, I think. Endpoint are going to have a lot of work to do if they want to even get close to winning this round. Thomas might just be the man, though. He picks up the AK of his fallen teammate. It goes with a wild spray. The flashbang is absolutely brilliant from the T side. And if I'm Endpoint, I take a look at the economy and I see what I've got, and I'm just saving this into the next round. This is job done.
Yeah, just looking for a few Hail Marys through the smoke is Robin. The rest of the team has heeded your warnings, heeded your call, and looks to save these weapons over. They've got a bit of money built up on the S Gaming side. They could probably commit a couple of players to the hunt if they so please, but realistically, it's not anything to be too concerned about. Just some upgraded pistols and some armor that will carry over into the following round. It's not as if it's going to affect their buy too heavily. Well, S Gaming are going to go the more conservative route, get a further lead in the financial game.
Yeah, it's impressive. They're actually doing some stuff on the C side that's looking solid. Good mid-round calls as well. Dealing with that force buy very, very easily indeed. Brilliant utility usage. Overall, just very impressive. And should be an easy round for them here as well. Endpoint only with the pistols, 11-10. Who knows? I actually fear for Endpoint if they lose Vertigo here.
Given how close the series was as a whole last time around they played, they lose their comfort pick. That puts them in a bad mental state. Really brings a lot into S Gaming's camp as well. And something we haven't seen Endpoint do is they quite often like to explore sort of pushing through the B side of the map. Quite often see Robin and Surreal sort of supplementing that. But they've been playing very passively in these rounds, knowing that S Gaming are holding for those types of pushes for sure. But even still, trying to take the fight to them has been a bit of a lost cause, it seems, for the Endpoint side, as S Gaming are looking a whole lot better the second time round. Well, they'll get this bomb planted, no real damage done to any of these players, in another situation where they may just want to neglect S Gaming these kills.
The crazy thing is, they just not losing anything. And the crazy thing about this team is they're so young and yet so disciplined. They're playing proper good CS, and it's pretty incredible to see it happen. There's no huge mistakes going through. Earlier on today, I seen LDLC have some pretty questionable plays. Like Hadji was jumping down vents, just on top of players and thinking he could just take any fight he wanted. It's cool to see that, you know, even players like S Gaming, who have just got their HLTV profiles, and a lot of these guys, they've qualified through the open qualifier. They're playing really solid Counter-Strike, and this is really nice to see. Endpoint definitely have the work cut out for them at the moment, and potentially might actually be even losing their map pick if they don't step up in the CT half. They finally got a buy back in. It's going to be Mighty Max on the FAMAS, utility available. Not a whole lot of it, but enough. And also the M4 is around the AWP for Crucial, so S Gaming, full rifle setup, freeing them up quite a bit. They don't have that AWP to really be an issue for them. All 5 are very proficient riflers, and well, Crucial, he's off to a brilliant start shutting down Fame.
And Surreal, all the meanwhile, is pushing, or punishing the push rather, from Duray. He's trying to get control of the B side of the map. We saw Robin as well rotated over there in the early round. It seemed like they wanted to do something. That since they found these picks, they can play a little bit further back, except for Crucial, who's still looking for something more, a bit more control, and Rufire hits the deck, another victim of the AWP. A big round for Crucial to open things up and really, I think, secure this one for Endpoint as well. There's still 2 players alive and kicking, but they're having to walk themselves towards the A side of the map in hopes of catching Endpoint off guard.
Sonero is certainly doing that. He's going to be the front man, and Mighty Max is going to catch the ball for the FAMAS, and it's not going to be working too well here for Gaming side. That's much better from Endpoint, cleaning up, 4 players staying alive. And they just sort of turtle in towards that A-bomb site and make sure that happens for them. Now 12-10. 4 away for victory. Endpoint. And that's a more convincing round. They needed to keep most of their players alive there. Mainly because when you took a look at the economy of SK, yep, that's happened right there. It's looking good. And that's the issue here. You know, Endpoint can win around, but SK is just going to keep coming back at them with buy after buy.
Yeah, they've built up a lot of cash in these past few rounds, so it'll be a long time before Endpoint feel a breath of fresh air. Nice little eco rounds where they can let their hair down a little bit. And I've said it a few times already, but it does look like S Gaming have taken a lot of these strategies and a lot of these initial setups from Endpoint themselves. The way that they've been approaching the early setups, this 3 play towards a ramp, and just the caution around the smokes as well towards A, because Endpoint have been playing behind them so many times in this series.
Brewfire looking for a little bit of action. It's not going to really work for him. Fame just holding on, catches up Mighty Max, and that's going to be an advantage picked up for the T side. Crucial looking to tread back. The smoke fades, and that is quick. From the Dutch sniper, he'll be looking for more. Rescopes and looks down in towards short. That Molotov coming in at the right time lets him look in towards ramp without being worried about a push coming through the smoke on his blind side. Teammate pushing up to the default spot. Robin just keeping tucked in, but that smoke is going to be a bit of an issue because Crucial can't help him, so Robin has to make a solo play. Crucial trying to hit some nutty shots. He's not too far off of him. He's trying to deny the bomb plant, but it's not going to happen. That's a 3v3. S Gaming, they don't have anybody towards short. If they want to get a player in towards that position, they're going to have to wrap the long way or make a ballsy play like that. Rufire is jumping across, makes it, but goes back to default. Not a fan of that, but it does fall. Surreal able to pick him off, and now Duray is the last remaining player. Surreal taking down his teammate, and Duray with the ult. The smoke goes down, and the flash is up as well. It's just going to make things so much more difficult for the ultra here. He's not far off. The lineup is nearly there, but it's just going to have to keep on spamming, not hitting the shots, unfortunately. And the defuse is going to come through. It's going to be 13-10. Endpoint are now 3 away from victory on Vertigo, and they seem to have recovered their CT half because it was definitely looking a little bit rough at a certain point.
Yeah, that we were sort of harping on how disciplined and how well S Gaming seemed to be playing, but a few questionable moves made, and maybe that sort of point where they almost get to a point where they're tying up the game and maybe taking their first lead to suddenly losing in a couple more convincing rounds from Endpoint. That sort of initial pressure, being so close to a goal, can really weigh on you, especially when you have Crucial just being so aggressive over towards the A bomb site. These small things certainly add up. The kills going Endpoint's way so many times at the start of these rounds, and S Gaming are being gunned down on every approach. Still not quite done yet. Robin pushing further forward, and Rooffire falls off the map. I think he was trying to recover the bomb because it was on the other side of the railing.
Yeah, that was interesting to say the least. And now Endpoint two away from victory. That's all that matters. S Gaming purchase coming in. It's the AKs. Feels like we've just seen buy after buy, but finally the money is broken down. Endpoint have won enough rounds in a row now that this is the final buy for S Gaming. They lose this, I'm definitely looking down the barrel of a win here for Endpoint, sending us onto that second map. And what's crucial, one great kill through the smoke, starting things off on towards Famous. Second as well, he's just sticking around. You'll see most AWPers get that one kill and fall away, but Crucial confident enough to re-peek. Definitely could have went either way, but certainly coming out on top. Robin taking down Rooffire, and now this looks like it will be a done deal. Easy kills coming in from Endpoint, and it's now all on to Kisse. Yeah, that's it. Whatever.
He's dancing dangerously close to the edge. We saw a suicide last round. Try not to repeat things, but, well, Crucial finishes what he started. A 15th round for Endpoint, and these rounds have been coming in fast for the Endpoint side.
Yeah.
Far more convincing in these past few, and again, that small bit of turmoil, the initial game plan may be shifting for S Gaming because they're not quite anticipating the peaks that Endpoint are going for, especially with the AWP.
Well, we'll see if Endpoint can close it here. This is the prime opportunity. It's the full Galil buy coming in from S Gaming. They've scrapped together everything they possibly can. DeRay looking for some open 80. Feels like he has to be the player to open things up, and he's done that so often. You can definitely see why he would. Crucial getting rid of Rooffire. He's going to be picked off, and now we're into an advantage here for the CT side. Endpoint looking like the team that will be taking Vertigo. Just a few more kills to collect, and they'll be sending us on to the second. Trader comes in though. Senador, he's not done yet. Still kicking. Makes a little bit of space in towards this A bomb side. Now Thomas, he's going to be under pressure.
Oh, wow. The double swing from ramp. They take Thomas down in an instant. He had a small one-way to work with, but he was so concerned about the right side. And now they've got this bomb planted. Robin's on the retake, and he's actually found 2 frags in an instant. Endpoint have a whole lot more ground to work with now. They're still trying to group themselves up for the push, but with Crucial falling, Surreal on this flank could be the linchpin. He has them on the rotation, and that's it. Endpoint take the round in a 16-10 fashion, and it's a great retake from Robin to get it all going.
Yeah, it's a great shot in there towards the end from Endpoint. It was looking a little bit hairy at times, you know, whether or not that CT side was going to collapse, but